welcome. This is the Ask an Artist Coach live Q&A. My name's Alark. I'm here in Mexico City, and we are coming in with some questions around singing, songwriting, music production, stage presence, artist development, life as an artist, any sorts of crossovers. These are like grab bags. Ask me anything. First, I'm going to start off with some questions that I get a lot in the artist coaching that I do. And let's talk about stage presence, because this is something that's kind of a hot topic right now that people are interested in with some YouTube videos I've been publishing. One question is, how can I stop looking nervous on stage? And I think a key thing to think about is serve your audience, serve the music. And once you take the focus off of yourself and you think instead about what they would like to receive, like they're there to be entertained. So give them a show, baby. Think about the lyrics in your music during the songs. What are you telling as a story? Think about the protagonist of the song. Live that story. Visualize it. When I'm singing a song, I tap into the lyrics and I kind of see this abstract, like dreamlike haze in front of me, and I sing there. And that gives me something to hold on to. And then also, I think having some pre-planned ideas of where you can look and things that you can do with your hands gives you a framework to feel a little bit more comfortable. So for example, I like to pick 9 different areas to look at generally. I have my top, my mid, and my low. Top left, center, right. Center, left, center, right. Low, left, center, right. Never make sure that, I make sure that I'm never like looking flat sideways, because that doesn't read well on stage. And then I'm not looking straight down. And then I have generally a soft glow to my eyes and my vision. I can smize. If you ever know the Tyra Banks, America's Next Top Model idea about like the smize, like see something through your eyes, inhabit the character of the story. There is an acting technique called Stanislavski method, and it's about becoming the character. So become the character and tell the story. I think in general, thinking less about yourself and how you're appearing on stage shifts the entire energy to what are you bringing to the show. So I think that is a good question. Another question around this with eyes is, how can I make eye contact without feeling awkward? I think, like, again, deliver it to somebody. You're giving them something. And I think it also depends on who's in the audience. So pick the person that looks the most interested and engaged. If there's someone who's interested, someone who's like kind of interested, and someone who doesn't really want to be there or not that interested in the moment, don't go to the one who's checked out. Go to the person who's attentively listening and tell a story to them through the music or through your eyes. And I think that definitely helps. I've also heard this thing about looking like right on top of people's eyes, like at their hairline, like right above their heads. You could try that. It doesn't really work for me. But I also wouldn't stay on a glance for any too long period of time. Like look for like a couple seconds or a phrase of a song. Then the other phrase, look somewhere else. It could be at another person, or it could just be into the abyss. And so I think that's good. Another thing to think about, which might even be harder to do, is what do we do in between songs for stage banter? Are you looking at someone in particular? How are you telling the story? So yeah, stage banter is something to practice. And again, just think about glancing over the audience when you see someone attentively listening. watch them, talk to them. I think something very useful for this would be to watch stand-up comedy. If you watch stand-up comedy and watch those people interacting with the audience, you can see how they're just like looking around the stage, introducing themselves or a story to the audience, delivering to people. But then when they're telling a point and they're talking to someone, they might look specifically at someone for one particular thing. So stand-up comedy is a very good thing to watch for that. Yes, yes, yes. Here's another question that I get from artists. It's like, do I need to have my sound figured out before releasing music? Specifically in a situation where I really want to do this one type of music. It's harder to create than it is to do this other kind of music. The other kind of music is easier for me, but I don't really want to do that. My heart's not in it so much as the other. I would say, oh, hey, Dr. Tim, where are you coming in from? Type it in the chat. I'm here in Mexico City. So in terms of having your sound figured out, I think that comes through action. There is this entrepreneur and a leader. Her name is Marie Forleo, and she talks about confidence coming from clarity and clarity coming from action. So knowing about what your sound is before you release music, no, release music, figure it out as you go. I would say like do some branding work and thought preparation, mood boarding, visioning. Do the best that you can. But another thing to know is that as artists, we are always evolving. Hello, Miloshnik with Kutni. Milosh. I have a friend named Milosh. Where are you coming in from? Drop it in the chat. So yeah, like the question about having my sound figured out before releasing music, I would just say do the best that you can. And don't get too caught up in your head about it and delay releasing music or delay putting yourself out there. I think it will just come from taking action, paying attention, seeing how you feel about it. Does it feel good to you, or do you feel like kind of torn about it? So that's a great question. Hey, Jotina, let me know where you're coming in from. I'm in Mexico City here. Here's another question that I get. How do I know what genre I belong in? So this comes down to your interests and your musical DNA. Hey, Kat, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're coming in from. Drop it in the comments. Jay Crystal, welcome. Drop any questions that you have in the comments around artist coaching. The question, how do I know what genre I belong in? So this comes down to your personality, what you love listening to, and where you feel very natural. A couple caveats on this. So first, it's like, what kind of scene do you like hanging out in? What genres of music do you enjoy listening to? And of course, if we're musicians, I'm sure we love a lot of different kinds of music. But if you could see yourself doing something over and over and over again, what would you be most inclined to do? Hey, Drew Miller, welcome. So for example, I like sad music sometimes, but I don't want to be a sad music artist because I would be depressed going around and touring and singing sad songs all the time. So that's just one idea. Hey, Dimples, what's up? Where are you coming in from? Jen Flip. Hey, Seaboy. Mark Krisher, welcome, welcome. Mark Krisher, drop your artist coaching questions in the chat. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, I'll read your mind and I'll answer what you have in mind. Thanks for joining in. Mark's an old friend based in Seattle. Big supporter of the music. So appreciate you joining on live. So how do I know what genre I belong in? I would think about like, what are your natural skills? Are you naturally like a big singer or like someone more quiet? Or what instruments do you play? What kind of music could you like makes your soul sing, like lights you up? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Drop in where in the chat where you're coming in from and any questions that you have. Kelsey, hey, hey. And it's okay to like a bunch of different things. In fact, that's how a lot of new memorable genres are made. I even think about James Blake. When he first got on the scene, he made post dub. It wasn't a genre then. So then you take like the best pieces of each, try out a bunch of different scenes. Um, and so, for example, I was coaching an artist once who loved a bunch of different genres, and we were in New York City. And so I guided her to go to different jam sessions for like blues, jazz, funk, electronic, and she would go there and hang out and sing and join in on the jam sessions, prepare some material and repertoire, like 2 songs of each different genre. So she had something that she could feel confident going out in and just like jumping in on a jam session with. And through that, she got to see not only like what kind of music that she liked, because a lot of skills are transferable with singing, for example, or keyboard playing, for example. But then she got to see, okay, what's the type of vibe that I want to be spending my time in all the time. So an example of this is that when I was in New York, I was doing jazz, and I loved the jazz, but but what I really wanted to be doing was the electronic music. And I found I would be going to jazz gigs; they would end at night, and then I couldn't even go out to the electronic music shows that I really wanted to go to because I had to go take my jazz gear home, drop it off, and then go out. And which I did sometimes, but also sometimes it was just very time consuming and long, and I would get home late, so then I couldn't even do the kind of stuff I wanted to do so much. Hey, user Melvin. Sibo says, how do I move to Mexico and find a beautiful jazz artist to fall in love with me? Ha, that's a good question. I don't know. You tell me. But I would say I have a lovely boyfriend named Ima, and he's in the other room right now. Um, so, how do I um, what other questions you guys have? Leave it in the comments here. How do I know when I'm ready to work with a producer, manager, or other team member? How you doing? Good. Melvin, what's up? Silas, welcome, welcome. Drop your artist coaching questions in the chat and also let me know where you're coming in from. How do I know when I'm ready to work with a producer, manager, or other team member? This is a great question. So I think a producer would be the first person that you could work with. You could work with a producer at any level. You could roll out of bed tomorrow and not have any experience and start linking up with a producer because they're going to help guide your vision, help you make the music and put it out there. What's up, B Prop 12345? So producer, you could begin working with right away. Usually, if you're not at a collaborative level, it's paid work where you're hiring them. But in terms of a manager, that's typically when you already have an audience and the manager has something to manage. And they usually would get a percentage of the pay for their compensation. So you'd have to be making money off of what you're doing already, and then they would take a percentage. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Drop your artist coaching questions in the chat. Here's some questions I get about life as an artist. How do you deal with comparison to other artists? Oh, this is a very good question. Hey, Taylor, welcome. Drop your questions in the chat. Compare and despair. I even felt this today. Like, it's real. I think we all feel these kinds of things. I think I have to ask for myself when I feel like, where is this coming from? What need do I need to address within myself? How can I love up on myself even more? So for me, I saw someone who's this amazing artist, super nice person that I know in real life who's doing really well and successfully. And of course, we just see their highlight reel. Hey, High Speed. And this person deserves all the success because they're like a good person and they put in the work and all this stuff, but they're also like very stylish and beautiful and funny and fun. I'm like, oh, I want that. But you know what? I came home and I was like, I don't even like these pants that I'm wearing anymore. Like they're old. Hey, San Jose. And I was talking to him about them, and he was like, yeah, I never liked those pants. And I was like, should I just give them away? But I don't even think that they were in good enough condition to give away. So I just threw them away. Like the universe will deliver. Like nature abhors a vacuum. If I'm getting rid of this pair of pants, another pair of pants will come in that will help me feel the way that I want to feel in that sense. That's just one little example. Hey, Lulu, for show. Another thing is that maybe if I'm feeling that way through seeing them on social media, maybe I'll mute their channel and we could still be like friends. And you could still be, hey, Daniel, welcome back. We could still be friends on Instagram, let's just say, if I still want that. But maybe I don't want, if it's bothering me with like the compare and despair kind of thing, maybe I'll mute their channel and I'll go there intentionally sometimes to support it, but really curate what I see. I think what I need to do when I feel compare and despair, the things that help me is I turn the focus back on myself, not in an egotistical way, but like, what am I craving so much that's causing this emotional tension? Maybe I'm craving having like, if someone put out a new release that's really good, I'm like, maybe I want my own new release that's really good. I'm gonna like put the world away and things that charge me emotionally, and I'm just gonna focus on like my music. I think slowing down, getting out of devices and social media platforms, you know what I mean? Hey, Adolfo. So I think it's also really hard because as artists, we're also supposed to be online and on these social media channels, but I think it's all about curation and what you allow into your space and your time. Not a bot. Not a bot. Alfredo, what's up? Ask me any questions that you have. Here's another question that I get. Hey, sis Kit Kat. Um, how do you decide whose feedback to listen to? Oh, this is such a great question. I had a teacher, an opera singer teacher once, who always told me, consider the source. Consider the source about where you're getting your information from. So, for example, if I am not sure about a musical decision to make and I'm seeking feedback, hey, double SSSSSSS, I will consider like, does that person have what I want? If that person has what I want, then I would consider their feedback. If someone is offering unsolicited feedback on marketing or music, do they have experience doing the type of marketing thing that I'm trying to do? Do they have experience with the music that I'm trying to do? Hey, user with a million numbers, welcome, 171432, etc. So you consider feedback, listening to it by people who have what you want. So I think that's very important. I also think it's important to listen to feedback from people who have empathy. And to vet them a little bit, like as a person, do they have your good intentions in mind? Hey, Osiel Cabrera, welcome, welcome. So these are some questions. Ooh, this is another question. Hey, Faye, welcome. This is another question that I've received in the past. What's the biggest thing holding artists back that has nothing to do with talent? Ooh, you know, doing doing social media, maybe. That's like me right now. Um, putting yourself out there, especially when there's no one there like rewarding you and like giving you that external validation. Hey, Raul, welcome. Yeah, the biggest thing holding artists back, I think, is just like putting themselves out there, being their own biggest cheerleader, choosing themselves. I see a lot of people, and I definitely have lived this as part of my story, wait for someone to discover them and put them on. This has nothing to do with talent, but they want to be big, but they are waiting for permission. And no one's going to give you permission. You got to get it yourself. So I think that is the biggest thing. If any of this is resonating with you, follow my channel or subscribe to my channel, whether you're watching on TikTok or YouTube right now, and let's connect. Does that resonate with you? Do you feel like the thing that you need to do with yourself is just be your own advocate and give yourself permission and choose yourself? You know, it's so funny. Last night, I came across this reel on Instagram, hey Alex, from the founders of YouTube. And it was about 3 of them in a room together, I believe, maybe 4. And they were discussing the weekly performance of YouTube. Hey, Andrea. And they had about 40 to 60 videos on YouTube total. This was like way back in the beginning days. And they're like, yeah, I don't know, like what are we going to do? How are we going to move forward? People can watch all the content and be done. Like there's only 40 to 60 videos. Hey, Ringo. And I think about like the biggest thing holding artists back that has nothing to do with talent is choosing yourself. Like at that stage with YouTube, people weren't choosing YouTube. They had to go and put themselves out there and be the platform for other people to participate on. So that means you've got to go out there and create your platform. It's kind of like the build it and they will come. But I also think that you need to have some feedback to ensure that things are going well. Hey, ads 9267 up on YouTube with all of the rockets. Oh man, you know I love rockets. My doggy's named as Rocket. Hey, user 95108. Welcome, welcome. So we're about to end this live session, this live stream. Thank you so much for joining. If you had some good epiphanies, let me know. Drop some hearts in the chats. Give some love to this. If you enjoyed this, subscribe or follow my channels. I am doing a TikTok and YouTube live stream every Tuesday and Thursday for the next few weeks. Well, 3 more weeks. Up until Thursday, September 3rd. I'm doing Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, or that's 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm doing Thursdays at that time. Oh, thanks for the hearts and the happy faces up on YouTube. Thank you. Hey, Tom, you're joining and we're just about heading off. But here's what the schedule is. Every Tuesday, we're doing a Create With Me. And you have a say in what gets created. We could do some music production. We could make some dance music. We could do some DJ sets. We could do some vocals, vocal chops, that kind of thing. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Again. Imanol, goodbye. It was great chatting. Ima, my #1 fan. And on Thursdays, we're going to do these Ask an Artist Coach Q&A live. So you can also DM me any questions that you have, send me a message, and I'm going to note them and answer them next time. So I really want this to be like a great connection between us and a fun hang. So yeah, come back to the next one. And thank you so much for watching. Sending lots of love from Mexico City. And I'll see you on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to make some music in the studio and I'll see you there. Bye, Giovanni. Bye, everybody.